Good afternoon, YouTube. It's How To with Doc Gaddy. We're back again. Today, I'm kind of taking it slow because I just got a lot on my mind and I'm worried about a lot of stuff. But anyway, so just for an update, I tried to use that plywood I had for the bottom of the bed to support the mattress, and it just didn't work out because the plywood is some cheap plywood that came off some pallet tops. Guy around here sells half sheets for $8. So I went and got some, but they've been laying around in my shed for quite a while and the ends of them warped. And even if I cut the middles out, I still couldn't get flat sheets. So I just said, to heck with it. Yesterday afternoon, real late, the mail finally ran. Amazon dropped off the portal that goes in the floor. I'll show that to you in a little bit. As well as I tried to figure out what to use on as the support for the bed. And what I came up with was some little 1x3s that I had laying around, but I used all I had. I just didn't have enough, so I might have to go to Lowe's and get some. And that's just par for the course. So what I'll do is I'll get y'all set up and turned around, and then I'll show you what we have done so far for the day. So as y'all remember the bed from the other day, there she sits. As I talked about that plywood, it just would not set level in there. So what I did is I went and looked around and I found these little 1x3s that I had. And if you've ever been to Europe, this is what all the supports are in Europe. They don't use box springs. They use only mattresses. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna position them in there about 4 inches apart, like so. This is an oddball I had just to see, and I don't like them. So I'm just gonna go tomorrow and figure out, they're 40 inches long, figure out how many of them you get out of a 2-footer, or I'm sorry, an 8-footer, and then just cut them out with the least amount of waste. Now, if y'all remember me having to talk about clearance in that corner, so we have clearanced the corner. Any of y'all that have seen the Airplane movie, we have clearance. And so we have clearance, the corner clearance. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some spray foam and I'm gonna spray all in these gaps, top and bottom, because yes, I insulated behind there, but that's an airspace, and well, that's where my head's gonna be, and I don't feel like dealing with it. So there's that. Over here, this is the portal that goes in the floor. You can see how it's got the little fingers on the bottom to keep critters out. It's standard RV equipment. It pops open. You can drop your cord down through it, and then it has this little slot that opens and closes so that it holds a 30 or a 50 amp cable. But that'll go right here on the floor. You can see where I started on it. I don't have a hole saw big enough, so I'm gonna take one hole saw out of it and then use a jigsaw to finish up the rest of it. We put on some outlet covers yesterday, nothing big, woohoo. And then we come in here, and my project for today is fairly in-depth. What I am building, if you can make sense of my chicken scratch, are a set of kitchen cabinets. Basically, they're open cabinets. I went to Lowe's and looked at the price of a base cabinet, 60 inches long, and my jaw about hit the floor. I don't know what in the world they think a cabinet made out of particle board is worth almost $300, but they are insane. So I used to work at a cabinet shop when I was in high school, and I figured, well, I can build this. This is easy. So what I've got laying here on the sawhorses, these are my left and right, front and back uprights. And what I've done is I've marked and drilled for the screw. And what's going to take place, these uprights are going to go right here on the end of this. So it'll be wide face front. And you'll notice how it's setting on top of those. Those are the middle stiles, one in the back, one in the front. I cut them off the exact width of the top rail so that instead of butting into it, it'll set on top of it. That way it'll be more support, and it's one long run across the front. That's something I picked up from the cabinet maker I used to work for. He didn't build his cabinet boxes out of near this thickness. He would use 1x for everything and charge a premium, but I figured it's going to be in a trailer, it's going to be moving around, and truth be told, with the kitchen being on the garage side, yeah, I will keep it covered up, but if I need counter space, it's probably gonna get used. On the far end down there under that last outlet, in the countertop, which I'm just gonna find something cheap, I'm going to cut in for a sink, and then underneath it, it'll have the standard trap. And then I'm going to run some, I'm going to keep my plumbing inside, except for where it goes just to the outside. That's both for the drain and the supply. And then I'm going to look around and see if I can find me a little tankless hot water heater, because I have a 110 gallon propane tank that I'm going to take with me. So once I start getting this frame, well, actually, let me show you in the drawing. So here you can see those uprights. And then this board up here, this is the countertop, okay? This second line represents that rail right there, because the countertop will go on top of that rail and hang over the front. Down here are front and rear 1-bys screwed in between the center and the end, 1 for lateral stability, but 2 for shelves. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna determine the depth of the sink plus the drop down for the trap and everything. And then this shelf will be, you know, reasonably underneath that. And then there'll be a shelf on the bottom as well to hold pots, pans, groceries, etc., because I'm not gonna have any upper cabinets. I'm gonna close in the back and the sides with the leftover Yucca board that we used on the walls. For my the math I figured up, I wrote down 2x4s, but I ended up going with 2x3s. So I needed 7 of the 2x3s, and then I also picked up some more 2x6s for another project. Flapper grinder disc, don't worry about that, that's for something else. And then here are my measurements. What I did is I went to Lowe's and I measured some kitchen cabinets, and basically without the countertop, they measured 36 from floor to the top and 24 front to back. So that's how big I'm building this counter, this support, so that when I put a countertop on it, it's normal household height. Over here you can see where I did some math to figure out how long to cut the stiles. Then down here was how long the overall rail needed to be, plus the width of the 1-bys in order to come out to the 63 inches, or the 63 inches that I wanted. So there's that. But other than that, you know, I've already talked about how to cut the wood the easiest way using a square and a skill saw, how to mark it, how to pre-drill it. So I'll bring y'all back once I've got some marked progress and show y'all what we've done. Talk to y'all later. So, you know, we got the bed done. I showed y'all where I cut it out and everything to get it recessed in there. Just show you how it looks. See how it goes back in there, top and bottom. And then I went and got some spray foam. I'm gonna foam all around it. Then I hadn't got to the portal yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm wore out. But then you come in here, and as I told you, we're gonna work on kitchen cabinets, or kitchen cabinet. And so as you can see here, this was the plan. And then everything that's been X'd off is because it's already in place, already built, blah, 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 blah. I gotta cut these 21 inch that goes between the uprights, front and back, that will support the shelves going all the way across. They're gonna be full length shelves. And then I gotta come back and cut 31 inch runners to go across the front, 4 of them, to cover up the front edge of the shelf, because I don't think I'm going to put doors on it. So this is the cabinet right now. You can see down there in the middle of the boards, those are the shelf supports. The bottom shelf is 6 inches off the floor. The second shelf, I'm probably going to put 12 inches above that, so 18 inches off the floor. I think it'll be good for appliances and food and whatnot. I'm probably going to use, just use curtains, because I'm going to set during the winter time, I'm going to set a radiator heater in here to help with keeping the pipes warm and whatnot. You can see the outlets are a good height above the counter. I framed it up where everything is flush, so that no matter what counter I get, it'll set flat, and then it'll have, you know, the standard backsplash that the counter has. I'm going to put the sink right here. I think I'm going to use a single bowl sink and probably center it so there's a little bit of space left over here. You'll notice this gap right here. This gap is due to the baseboard. What I'm probably going to do is mark it and cut that baseboard out and remove it so I can slide the counter all the way over against the wall. Then what it'll also allow me to do, I don't know if you can see it here, but here are the studs. And what that'll allow me to do is to screw the cabinet directly to the stud wall, along the top rail and hopefully along the supports. Now you'll notice that this one is offset. The reason it's offset, you see how it's justified to the left a little bit, or to the right? See how it's justified to the right a little bit? The reason for that is the screw that holds this stile in place run dead center. So in order to put a screw in, I had to justify it to the right a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. You'll notice that I enclosed it on 3 sides with the Yucca board, just like I had talked about. The left side, the back, it's not going to get painted, but this side over here will probably get painted the same color as the wall, and then I'll also fill in that little spot. We're going to put a 24-inch door here that will open towards me. That way it'll open against the cabinets and won't have any issues there. But all in all, it's been a good build day. I'm just really wore out. I got a lot of stuff on my mind. But other than that, here in just a minute, I'll flip y'all around, bring you back for the closing. And all right, good evening, everybody. It's about 7:30, 7:45. We got everything done that I talked about in the video today, and it all turned out real well. Really happy with everything. It's really coming together. Especially you consider I've probably done all of this for probably $500 or less. Now, I haven't gone and bought the big stuff. I haven't got a refrigerator yet. I haven't gotten a water heater, sink, toilet, mattress, that stuff. I haven't got that stuff yet, but that can be bought as I go. But everything worked out real well. And, you know, I just had a lot of stuff on my mind. Hadn't been able to sleep real well. But as always, I really thank MBC for all of their love and support during this project. I can't wait to spend some more time with MBCs because it's wonderful. And other than that, if y'all like this, subscribe, show it to your friends. And as y'all notice, I have on safety somewhere. Because as you know, just like Mike Rose said, safety third. Because if safety's first, you ain't gonna get anything done. So with that, y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.